Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about how to remove the front bumper from a 2017 Jaguar F-Type. As far as I'm aware, I think it's the same between the model years and the different variants. I'm going to talk through where the bolts are, how to access them, what tools are needed, and how best to remove the front bumper without causing any damage to anything on the car. I found a guide online that explained it in words. There was no video, and it was on an internet forum. And in that guide it said there were 11 bolts to remove along the bottom, and then whatever you find along the top, under the bonnet and next to the headlights. You'll find out in the video it was a little bit more involved than that, but I'll step through it, and hopefully anyone looking to tackle this task themselves, hopefully this will be of benefit to you. So first things first, we're unbolting the bottom of the bumper. We want to detach it from not only the under tray, the engine under tray, but also the mounting brackets on the chassis. And you can see where those bolts are there, put the red arrows in. The bolts follow this pattern all the way around the bottom of the bumper. Once all the bolts are out the bottom, it's time to take the 10mm bolts out from the top of the headlights and also along where the clamshell meets the bonnet there. Once these are done, it just leaves the T30 Torx bits in the wheel arch liners. There's 3 in each side to remove. Take those out, and that should be everything then unbolted from the bumper. So what we're watching here is me trying to find the remaining bolts down the bottom. As I mentioned earlier, the guide I found online only referenced 11 bolts underneath the car. A little bit more than that. I lost count after about 20 along the bottom of the front bumper there, but just make sure you're removing anything that attaches the front of that bumper to the car. It not only is attached to the engine under tray, but it's attached to the chassis on mounting tabs and also the wheel arch liners. Once everything's undone, you can see the bumper's free to move. Just be very careful as you take it off that A, you're not going to drop it, you don't want to damage any paint. B, you're pulling it away from the headlights sufficiently to save any of the brackets scratching the headlights. And then just also make sure you're not pulling it away from the vehicle too hard, as you can see from my confusion here, there are obviously going to be cables holding that on, so we need to unplug the connectors that hold the front of the bumper to the car by the wiring. We've finally got the bumper down. We need to disconnect the washer hose for the headlamp washers, and there's 2 plugs down here, a green one and a grey one. Get those off and see if we're finally there. So I found the best thing for this was a small flathead screwdriver, just to flip the grey tab on the connector plug back, which then allows you to freely pull the 2 plugs apart. If yours is anything like mine, a little bit of dirt in there from a few thousand miles, they need a little bit of a wriggle to come apart, but they do come once those tabs are flicked out. That was a lot more than 11 bolts. I know I unbolted the splitter, which wasn't necessary, but wow, yeah, that was more than 11 bolts for sure. I'll get it somewhere safe so it's not at risk of rolling forwards and damaging the paint. And there we have it, the front bumper is off. To refit, it's really just as simple as the reversal of taking it off. I know that's what guides always say, and it's never normally that easy, but honestly, make sure everything lines up properly, make sure you're not scratching anything on the way back on. Again, protect those headlights, there are brackets on the side of the bumper. Just make sure you're putting the right bolts back in the right places, Make sure you've got none left over. It really is as simple as that. So there it is, we've got the front bumper back on. We did everything we needed to whilst it was off. I was re-trimming the black plastics in vinyl, so if you haven't already, check out that video on how that went. But the front bumper's back on, no bolts left over either, which is always a result. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please consider giving a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.